that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
As magical as the 2014 playoffs were for the Blazers, remember they beat Houston in that first round, that great shot by Lillard late to win it. Move on. 2015, not as much. You know, Greg, they drew a very tough Memphis team, as you recall, in the first round.
Yeah, you often talk about styles making fights. Very similar in this series. They would go on to drop the first 3 games before being bounced, but still a good showing for a team that struggled mightily down the stretch with injuries.
T.J. Warren, he's checked in for Phoenix. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Davis is checked in for Plumlee. Leonard comes in for Maurice Harkless. Crabbe's checked in for McCollum. And Brian Roberts subbed in for Damian Lillard.
And, you know, just as you said, Portland didn't have enough to get by the Grizzlies in the first round. Ended up losing in 5 after taking 1 game, and that was game 4. Just had a hard time breaking down the Memphis defense.
And here are the Suns now. The Trailblazers knocking down the tray. And Zeletovic kicks to Knight. Shot clock at 5. Phoenix needs to get off a shot. And the dunk by Len.
How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yes, indeed.
Tipped away. Crabbe dishes to Leonard. Fires the 3. Crabbe, no good. From deep. Kept alive. Here's Davis. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
And both free throws good for Davis. That'll do it for the first half. The Suns on top as they wrap up the second quarter on a 15-5 run. Time now for the halftime break, with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. Here's who Terry Stotts is starting the second half with. Lillard at the point with C.J. McCollum playing the 2. Harkless is out there with Aminu. And it's Plumlee in at the 5 down low. Knight into the lane. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be on Mason Plumlee.
All the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling. You know, the Phoenix Suns played well overall last season, but they still couldn't match up against some of the teams in the West. Had a hard time with in-conference battles.
Here's McCollum. Harkless the pass to Aminu. Ball's knocked loose. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Chandler.
3 points, Midtown.
Here's Lillard. Again, the miss by Lillard.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not there offensively.
No good from Booker.
Boy, they're fortunate. The defense was taking a big chance, leaving him that wide open behind the arc.
Feeds it to Aminu. Passes it to McCollum. Here's Harkless. It's good from long range.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
The Phoenix Suns weren't terrible at home by any means last year. They ended up over 500, but Greg, they weren't quite dominant enough at home to get in the playoffs.
That's a great point. I mean, they finished the year +3 in terms of wins at home. Not bad, but not good enough when you're talking about that Western Conference.
Suns leading by 8. Knight into the lane. Here's Tucker. Buries the long-range jumper. Tucker's got 9.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist total, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Trailblazers trail by 11.
You know, when you talk about the Suns, their play at home sums up their season. When you are just above average in the West, you won't be in the playoffs. You've got to be really good at home to make it in the West in the playoffs. Of all the guys you want to leave open out on the perimeter, he is the absolute last guy on the list. Attention to detail. Know your personnel.
Good.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior. And Phoenix had some turnover issues at home last year, but overall, and to drive this home, they just were okay here in this building, and that's not going to cut it.
Longley's checked in for the Trailblazers. Henderson comes in for C.J. McCollum. Now, here is Knight. 5 points in the game. Shot clock at 6. Launches a 3. Suns keep it alive. And Booker kicks to Knight. Takes a 3. And that one's good. Booker's got 10 points in the game.
Yeah, how about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
Greg, no question about it. They found a nice rhythm from deep. You know, they're not totally dominating the glass, but they're definitely doing enough to keep this lead right where it is.
Yeah, but they've separated themselves, Clark, in a number of categories, rebounds just being one of them.
Lure's checked in for Mirza Teletovic. And Lure gets it to go.
Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from long range?
Well, the defense just hasn't pressed up to deny any of those looks, guys. I mean, they're hanging back and getting picked apart.
Knight for 3. They get it again. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Here's Lure. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. The Suns shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. Free throw good, Lure. Seems every season, Clark, you hear the same thing. Portland Trailblazers had to deal with some tough injuries.
Kevin, it appears as though it might actually be a curse. I don't like to use that word, but the history of this team and injuries is as unique as any in the league. Last year, no different.
Here's what Phoenix has got going on right now. Warren's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Goodwin comes in for Booker. Eric Bledsoe is subbed in for Knight. And here's Bledsoe after Damian Lillard was able to get the 3 to go. Lure dishes to Bledsoe. No one near him. And the shot falls short this time.
And with the Blazers and injuries, even when they fought through pain, guys weren't at 100%. Aldridge wasn't quite the same with his hand injury.
Here's Warren. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got his 4th rebound in this one. And the basket by Lillard.
He's been much more effective in the second half than he was in the first. And losing Matthews for the season was huge too, guys. I mean, every team goes through injury woes and bumps during the course of the season, but the Blazers just seem to be, at least in the last half dozen years or so, hit very hard every year.
TJ Warren.
All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for Phoenix.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt to be on fire from beyond. They have been really good from the three-point line.
Alan Crabbe.
Crabbe.
Assisted. Myers Leonard.
And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope, his only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Goodwin passes to Warren. Howard down after the assist, let him into the lane.
How about that breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk?
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yes, indeed.
The defender a little hesitant to offer resistance as he bursts to the hoop.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will take it.
And you know what? His mind's playing tricks on him right now because he's not going to live that one down easily.
That's a 2 from Lillard. And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams scoring well as we head to the fourth. Suns lead by 9. And we'll be back with you right after this. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. They've got PJ Tucker. Mirza Teletovic out there with Alex Len. Then there's Brandon Knight, and it's Booker in at the 2 guard. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Suns.
Tyson Chandler.
Knight kicks it to Tucker. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Yep, it goes in, and the Suns' lead is cut down to 9 in the bucket from Plumlee.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it. And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg just with the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
Now, here is Knight. Inside, trying to find Chandler. He's got it now.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop there with that one-hand tomahawk slam?
Now, here's Tucker. After the miss from Mason Plumlee, Chandler dishes to Teletovic. That 3 off the mark. Trailblazers trail by 11. McCollum, no good. Some solid defense from Knight.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
And there's a foul. It's on C.J. McCollum. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
Phoenix timeout.
A change of the game plan right now, looking at some different sets because of the matchups.
Yeah, I agree with you because they're looking to tweak things to maybe get those matchups working in their favor.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, guys, over that last break, I listened to Phoenix's head coach address his team. His message was this: all of us know these guys are capable of exploding and putting up points in a hurry. So I don't want to see anybody letting up until that final whistle blows. Guys, back to you.
Now here's Knight. The feed out to Teletovic.